Hi, thanks for joining me for my good sex tip of the week. So, this week's good sex tip is relaxation. So, relaxation is something that I think is really underrated in general, and I don't think most of us are doing it nearly as much as we need to. And that's life in general. We could do with a lot more relaxation. And that doesn't necessarily mean going on a cruise or going to some tropical island and sipping some tropical drink, though that's nice. The thing is you can be on a cruise or on a tropical island sipping a tropical drink and still not be relaxed. Or you could be sitting at your desk on a somewhat deadline heavy day and be relaxed. So relaxation is something we can practice and we can learn to do anywhere, anytime. And then we'll find if we've practiced relaxation and we've learned to actually relax our bodies, when we are on vacation, we can actually really enjoy the vacation and enjoy the relaxation that the vacation offers. So relaxation is also a really important piece of good sex. So for a lot of folks, there can be a huge amount of tension in sex. And this can be just a habit, or this can be based on trauma or some kind of holding back from intimacy, trying to protect ourselves in some way. We can tighten up. It also is something that happens a lot around orgasm. So there can be a lot of tension, a lot of trying when it comes to orgasm. And relaxation will actually create a much, much deeper and more enjoyable and more insanely pleasurable orgasm than all that tension will. So people can kind of get in a habit of needing to tighten everything up right before they come. And this is fine. This is one way to have an orgasm, but it's limited. And if we can start to learn to actually relax and release throughout the body and definitely in the genital area, more blood flow is allowed through, which allows more sensation. It also is a way that women can have an extended orgasm, a really long, mind-blowing orgasm. If we can relax to the point where the genitals can contract and release involuntarily again and again and again and again and again and again and again, the orgasm can last for a lot longer. But that does take a deep state of relaxation. So it's also, for men, there can be a lot of tension around orgasm, whether it's trying not to come too soon or whether it's just tension in not coming soon enough, or just the tension that can come from orgasm, the sort of tightening up the whole body does. So practice it, play around with it, and try relaxing not only at that moment of orgasm, but also leading up to it. Try relaxing the whole time you're having sex and just see what happens. And at first it might feel uncomfortable, and that's for a variety of reasons. If you are used to just being tight and tense during sex because of maybe past experiences that were negative, then there might be some resistance around relaxing. But as you teach yourself to relax, as you teach yourself that it's safe to relax, it becomes more natural and much easier. There can also be resistance around relaxing during sex because there's this feeling that either you're going to come too soon or you're not going to come at all, and you need that tension in order to get where you want to get. And this actually brings in another important part of good sex, which is that what if there wasn't somewhere to get to? What if it was just about being right there in that moment with your partner, really connecting, really experiencing what's happening in your own body, rather than trying to get to some place? And that place generally is orgasm. We're all sort of like building towards that, moment of pleasure. But what if we could actually extend that moment of pleasure into the whole experience? So the resistance will come up because you're used to doing it one way and that way has worked for you. Or maybe that way isn't really working for you anymore, but you just keep doing it because it's what you've always done. So that resistance comes up and you can just meet that resistance with relaxation. So just practice, even if it's just every once in a while you're practicing relaxation and then the rest of the time you're doing what you normally do, that's fine. That starts to create a new way of engaging with your sexuality, engaging with your partner, engaging with pleasure. So the next time that you're having sex, perhaps give it a try. You might want to start with some relaxation before sex, just relaxing through your whole body, relaxing your face, relaxing your jaw, definitely, your shoulders, your arms, down through your chest, into your stomach, and definitely putting a lot of attention on relaxing the pelvic area. So really releasing the pelvic floor, that part of the body right between the genitals and the rectum, which in yoga you're asked to draw up, to tighten. So with this relaxed version of sex, you would release that. And you just practice releasing it before sex and then release it during. So just keep releasing that area of the body during sex as well as the rest of your body, really inviting relaxation. Just using the muscles you need for having sex. Just using whatever strength is required for the kind of sex you're having. And then really just inviting everything else to release. So try it out. And let me know if you have any questions. Let me know how it goes. Feel free to contact me here on YouTube in the comments section or through my website, which is meditationwithjessica.com. And you'll also see that there is a mailing list sign up on that website. And I'd love for you to join the mailing list. And that way you'll be one of the first to know when my book comes out in the spring. It's called Good Sex, Getting Off Without Checking Out. And it's coming from Parallax Press. And it's full of good sex tips as well as a lot of ways to bring mindfulness into your sex life and into your relationship. All right, have a wonderful day and have some good sex.